Or perhaps you are mistaken and it is the other way around.
I'm
now bored of this conversation, and I'm starting to look up at the spiral thing.
Yeah.
And I'm also trying to figure out like what's the deal with the little hole with the ruby thing.
Okay. Do you want to roll a
trap? I want to look at
tricks of the trade or whatever it is for you?
Yes. Tricks of the trade. So it's plus my dex. Yeah.
7. That is not a failure. Cool. So it's actually trap expert, I think, right? You're trying to detect or undo traps.
Is that right?
Is that right, Maggie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
so
you can it can be like trying to figure out how the trap works. Yeah.
yeah. So you've got these 3 questions, and you get to ask me one of them.
Can you read the 3 questions out loud for total scrubs and the party purposes?
It doesn't. This isn't the trap expert one. This is the tricks of the trade, right? Disabling traps. So it's when you pick locks or
traps.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to disable it.
You already know the trap. You already know what activates it because you activated it.
Okay. I'm trying to disable it though.
Okay. Yeah, you still do it. Suspicion, danger, or cost.
That's up to you.
Yeah. You find a mechanism inside one of the stairs that when you step on it, it's pressure sensitive and it flips all the stairs down. It's really complicated, and you don't think you can mess with that. But as you're looking around up and down the stairs, being exceptionally careful as you are, you find a critical slot in between the stairs and the wall where you see a gear sticking out. It's pretty near the top, and as you are like jamming a random piece of metal in there, or a random rock that you've picked up just to like lock the gears and make it so that the stairs can't slap closed again, you hear like a little huffing breath, and you look up, and there is this red-eyed hound, all black, sitting at the top of the stairs and staring you down. What do you do?
I want to take out one of my my potions very slowly, my golden root potions, and put it on my dagger and try to chuck it at him.
All right.
He's gonna be my puppy pet.
You slip out your golden root poison, dip your dagger in it, and throw it. So go ahead and do your volley.
Oh, dude, Duncan's got to identify this beast soon, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So choose either to place yourself in danger or to take minus 1d6 damage.
Also, while she makes the throw, can I go, hello, doggy, doggy?
Well, do the rest of us see this thing? We all do, right?
Yeah. I mean, like you see Lobelia at the top of the stairs, and you heard this little huff, and you see this dog at the top of the stairs. So, Belle, which of those downsides do you choose?
I'll put myself in danger. I won't take the damage.
Oh, it's not you taking damage. It's you dealing less damage.
Oh, me dealing. Oh, I don't care about doing the damage. Yeah, I'll do less damage. I just want to tame it.
Cool. So roll your damage for your dagger. I think it's D8 because that's your damage dice.
Yeah, it's 1d8 and then
minus 1d6.
Plus, 1d8. Oh yeah, we can do slash roll 1d8. It's plus 2 because I get plus 2 for ranged. Minus 1d6.
Perfect.
7.
Whoa.
All right. So like your dagger goes thudding into this creature's into like his front chest, and he yelps just like that, and he goes running away back into the tower.
What?
So what do you guys do now?
Steven, I saw this
He
creature.
was looking at me.
What do I know about it?
Ooh, yeah, that's your bard move, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So let's see.
I look very
I
disappointed.
can ask the GM any one question about it. The GM will answer truthfully. So I guess I have to.
Ask me something a little more specific than what do I know about it, and I will answer you truthfully.
Can this thing kill us all?
Wow,
Answer truthfully.
Wow, he knows a lot.
You know
about
what,
these.
JP? If it can deal damage, it can probably kill us. So that was
Yeah.
actually
All
a
right,
bad question.
GM.
I would
Wheat.
say
I'm
you
just-
probably want to know like more about where these creatures come from. Like, are they usually owned by somebody? Like, do they have a master? Things like that.
Duncan's really confused because for some reason there's all these voices in his head that he's never heard before. But he still asks, can this thing kill us all?
From what you know of large dogs,
Do I know a lot about large
and
dogs?
especially that this one doesn't look entirely natural, you do think this thing can probably kill you all.
Okay.
But only if you're like complete idiots
Sure.
about dealing with it.
So, Steven, I have to also tell you what tale, song, or legend I heard that from. I heard that
Absolutely.
from the tales of beasts that can kill everyone.
Oh, that's a good
where it's
tale.
from. Yeah. There's a
When
bunch
did-
of
when
beasts
did
Are
that
you
you
can
going to
first-
sing us a song of an?
it's an old
The
story that elders in the north tell the children to shy away from these beasts.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
The tale of things that.
And then
can
I turned to
kill
the
us.
party and I'm like, guys, this thing might kill us all, but probably not. We're probably okay.
Wait,
What happened
wait.
to the accent?
Duncan, I can't understand you without your accent.
There's no. For some reason,
It's
I've
like
lost
Charlie
my
Brown.
accent.
All right, so the top of the stairs are clear now. You see a faint glowing light coming from at the top of the stairs. It's slightly faintly blue in color. What do you do?
Examine it, shot. Examine it. With discern realities. Do it.
So, I look at them. I wipe off some of the ruby cream,
Yeah.
and I find that much funnier than it is.
Oh, that's great. The ruby cream.
The ruby cream. Wow. Okay, this is what I do.
Yeah.
I go up the stairs and I discern realities. I can't role play. I'm laughing too hard. Give me a second. I want to try to speak in character.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
With great risk comes knowledge to those who deserve it. And I smile smugly and I march up the stairs to discern realities in the general direction of the glowing blue light.
All right. Well, when you get to the top of the stairs, you don't actually have to discern realities to see this. You see a second-story room on top of this tower, and it looks like this is the top of the tower. Actually, the stairs sort of spiral all the way up, 50, 60 feet in the air around this bottom room. You get up to this second-story room, and it's another large round room. In the center of it is a lectern with a book on it, and there's like some scuffs on the floor. There is a table against the far wall with some random glass implements on it. There's a bookshelf off to your right and a small bed off to your left. The dog is sitting by the bed, and it looks at you and it growls, and then it starts wagging its tail.
Oh, dang it, Sean. Why do you always get to shame all my stuff?
That's my dog. All right, so I'm at the top of the spire, right? There's no more stairs leading up. Is that right?
Yes.
What's closest to me
I'm
in the
going to
room?
follow up behind because I've
Yeah.
made it so that the trap won't happen.
Lady
anymore.
Amsel as well.
Yeah. You're all going up. Duncan, are you following them as
Duncan.
well?
No,
We were
I'm staying
going to
here.
go
in the-
down.
Are we
on
still
this
on
floor.
the staircase then? And he's kind of like peeking in there.
Yeah, he's right up at the top.
All right. I'm
Belle
gonna say
and
up to Fink. I'm gonna be like, Fink, what are you seeing up there?
yeah.
Let's see. I
So
see the
Fink-
little. I look at her and I smile and say, "I see your little friend you threw your poisoned knife at." And then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to kneel down and I'm going to extend my hand towards this
How
hound,
do
but
you
I'm not
kneel
going to
on-
move towards it.
Okay.
I kneel with my legs. Jesus, what does that mean?
I thought you
Duncan?
turned around on the
Asshole.
stairs to face the rest of the party. I'm like, I
Just
kneel.
because I'm a
like,
4'6" dwarf.
I thought you were like leaning down to like help us up. That's what
Yeah,
I thought you were
yeah.
doing. So I think that's what Duncan thought as well.
Indeed.
I
He was
rotate
facing
180
he was
degrees,
facing
facing my
you to
back.
speak, and then he turned back towards the dog.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you lean down so that you're kneeling on the floor, and you extend your hand. The dog doesn't approach you, but its tail starts wagging harder. Now, Duncan, you're a dwarf, right?
What?
Yeah.
No, not Duncan. Sorry, Fink.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Like this dog, when you're kneeling, it's like as big as you are. It's a pretty big puppy.
Well, I'm fat, so
Oh,
he's...
you mount.
Yeah, and you're fat, so he's a big dog.
Yeah.
So the closest thing to you is probably this lectern in the middle of the room. And then, of course, along the sides of the room, to your left, there's this bed. There's a bedside table next to it. To the right, there is the bookshelf. And across the room on the other side of the lectern is the
Move out of the way, fat dwarf. I want to go
table
up
with a whole
and
bunch
look
of
at all
glass
the
implements
stuff.
on it.
So if Lobelia wants to step in, I'm going to step forward as she rushes behind me.
Okay.
I'm just going to scoot forward as she rushes behind me, but I'm still chilling and just speaking reassuringly to this dog that's wagging its tail at me.
Very
and
nice,
as I come up, peeking over, and books. Books.
Yes.
So I wish to go investigate the bookcase and perhaps maybe what this thing is in the middle.
Okay. Which are you looking at first?
I want to examine it first, so I want to tell Amsel, let me just look at it, just make sure there's no traps or something around it.
Then I'll go to the bookcase.
All right, so I'm going to go examine the center lectern thing with the book on it to make sure that there's nothing weird, because there was like a scuff on the floor. Is that nearby that?
Yeah, it's right next to it. And now that you're up a little bit closer and able to...
So I want to examine that.
Yeah, you look at it pretty closely. It looks like it's like a scorch mark. And there's actually a couple of scorch marks on the floor, sort of in a circle around this lectern. What do you do?
All right, before we go and try to grab the book to look at it, because I'm certain that's what Lady Amsel would like to do, I'm going to just look to see if there's a trap there.
Cool.
So I'm going to do 2d6 plus 8.
8. Okay, so you get to ask 1.
Is there a trap here, and if so, what activates it?
Yeah, you begin very carefully combing over the lectern and the book on top of it, and after a very thorough examination, you find a hair-thick thread tied to the front cover of the book that disappears into a pinhole in the lectern. You think that there is a trap here, and that opening the book will activate it.
Okay, so I look at Lady Amsel and I'm like, well, I'm glad that you let me look at this. It appears that there's like this little thread. Can you see it? And I try to like point it out without touching it. Yeah. And I'm like, I believe if you open this, that something's going to happen, but I don't know what.
I'm sorry. I was looking at these books.
Lady Amsel is lost in thought outside, thinking
I
about
was
the younger years of her life.
Well, some slotty wench took one of the books that I had from my bag. I still don't know what happened to it. I need to replace it. So let me at least... We'll examine that book in a moment. Let me just look through here and see perhaps if there's any books that I might want to take with me.
Okay.
Right. I will continue trying to figure out how this works.
Okay.
So you can look at this.
Perhaps you can disable it.
Lady Amsel, you look through this bookshelf, and most of the books are like ancient and rotten, and like there's bookworms crawling out of them when you open them. You pick up one of them, and it's very finely preserved, leather bound, and you open it up in great anticipation, and then it's like some person's list of like groceries and tasks that they need to do around the tower and stuff, and it's just really boring and dull and stupid, so it's not of interest to you.
But it is something that I can use to take notes myself, because I do tend to forget things from time to time, so I will still take
fair
that
enough.
book.
There's a couple of blank pages in the back that you can use to take notes. Let's see here. Over on the very bottom shelf on the far right, you do find a small, slim volume, leather bound, and it's on the subject of
it's Robert Kirkman's Walking Dead Volume 9! I've been looking for this across the... No, sorry.
But my comic book keeps getting stolen by slutty wenches.
The cover of it reads The Walking Dead.
Oh.
And when you open it, you find that it's a treatise on the undead, and not only the attributes of various undead, but also how to craft them. And there's a couple of like pages of spells that like their images and their markings just sort of seethe on the page, and you can feel their power burning into your eyes as you look at them. It sort of hurts to look at, so you close it pretty quickly. But you think that this book would be of value to you.
I think this book might be of value to me, so I will take it.
Now, in the meantime,
What? Oh,
Lobelia, what are you doing around this?
I want to disable it, so I don't know if I have to like take 10 and like wait to roll again.
That is a different move. That is your tricks of the trade.
Oh yeah, I would like to do that. I'd like to do that. Yes.
Cool.
Okay. Rolling 13. Haha.
Oh man, awesome.
Victorious.
All right. Simultaneously, as you are very deftly, you take out like a little pinch of gum from like your pouch, not like chewing gum, but like like basically
xanthan gum.
sap from a tree, and you place the gum over the hole so that it holds this thread in place without letting it slip or move upwards, and then you very deftly clip the thread with one of your daggers, and you hold your breath, and nothing happens. And at the same time, this dog who's thumping its tail against the floor starts whining, and he wanders over to Fink, and he starts licking your face, Fink.
Can I see this from downstairs since he's still on the stairs?
Duncan, what are you doing downstairs?
Just kind of packing up because everyone left their shit everywhere, and I'm really pissed off about it.
Okay, sounds good.
But I can see this dog, right? Like licking.
No, they're up on the second level now.
Oh, okay.
They're like directly above you, basically.
Well, I've packed up everyone's shit now. I've got it all in my hands, and I'm walking up the stairs with like this huge stacked sacks of all of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk up and I see this dog licking Fink's face, and I think that he's about to bite him. So I pull up my sword and start trying to fight it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You don't even have to roll for that. This dog isn't
Sean,
trying
by
to
the
fight
way,
back.
if you defend it or anything like that, the dog will still be yours. But if you start attacking it, the dog will then completely change.
Yeah. What do you guys do when you see Duncan come up and he pulls out his rapier and thrusts?
I mean, stop it. Cut it out, Duncan. He's fine. Duncan.
Duncan, are you following through?
They tell me this as I'm like walking towards it with the rapier.
Yeah.
Okay, then I just like cautiously like stand there, like one hand back and one hand forward as I'm like what's it called? In like a fencing pose.
Like a fencer?
Like
Okay.
Inigo Montoya.
I'm just like Inigo Montoya, and I'm just like sitting there like waving this rapier in front of the dog's face.
Yeah.
People are saying you
Fink,
should have
this
killed it and
beast.
been like, no dodge for you.
Yeah. I'm like, Fink, this beast, he's going to attack you. Get away from it right now.
He's a good boy, and I'm gonna reach my hand out and try to pet the dog on its head.
As you reach towards it, it sort of whines and shrinks away from you, and you realize that it's still got Lobelia's dagger sticking out of its chest, and it's actually bleeding, a little freely.
So I'm going to, as slowly and cautiously as I can, try to reach down to remove the dagger.
Oh yeah, well it just like it runs away from you over into the corner, and it turns around and it's whining. It's got its tail tucked between its legs.
Oh, okay. I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Unless anyone else wants to step in and do something.
Oh, dog.
No.
No tears, only dreams, young pup.
Lady Amsel's been watching
I
Daisy's
love
streams.
Lady.
So I'm going at level 2. The advanced move I got was first aid, cure light wounds as a rote. So
Okay.
I'm going to go to the dog. I'm going to kneel down far enough away that it won't recoil. And then I want to breathe deeply, and then exhale red breath to try to heal this dog's wounds.
Awesome.
That's what it looks like. That's not like what I'm
He's like,
trying
let
to
me
do. That's
breathe on
It's a
you.
consequence. I'm like,
He's like, now that you've licked me, my turn.
No, that's great. Totally roll your spell.
but isn't it a rote? What is?
Well, you still have to cast your rotes, but it just means that they don't count towards your total spell like quota.
Oh, Jesus.
His mind is like blown right now.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it would be easy.
2d6 plus 2?
Yeah.
Don't worry, if you fail, you get XP.
All right. Not
8 is
bad.
not bad.
So, choose one of those drawbacks. You draw unwelcome attention or put yourself in a spot. I'll tell you how. Or the casting distances you from your deity and you take -1 ongoing. Or after you cast it, you forget it.
Until you rest.
Yeah. Until you rest.
I'm going to forget it.
Okay. So you cast this spell. Roll for the healing that you do. It's 1d8.
Great.
1d8 damage healing.
Right. Guys, our cleric just blew his healing
That's
spell.
what
on
I'm
a dog.
saying. That's kind of... He just sticks
And then rolled a 1.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, I don't know about this.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. I'm like a bad math student. I didn't do anything and immediately forgot everything.
You feel Garand's disapproving gaze land upon you as you breathe forth this healing mist, and the dog's wound stops bleeding, and he lets you reach out and take the dagger out of his wound without any fuss. But you also feel your mind lose control of the spell, and it drifts away into the ether. And when you spend an hour communing with your god again, then you'll get it back. But for now, you've forgotten it. Okay, so we've got this book in the middle of the room. There's still this bed, this table of glass implements and stuff. What do you guys want to do up here?
Is
Well, yeah, so now that I've disabled the trap,
God, I'm totally-
I'm going to be like, Lady Amsel, are you done over there?
Yes.
I think
yes.
Steve
Come
has
here,
us all
come here.
muted right
I
now.
think I figured it out. I put this thing over here and I chopped the thing and I think you can open it. And I don't know. I can't read it. So
Okay, so I'll stand on this side of the table, and you open the book, and I will examine the first page.
okay. So I like really dexterously like open it like lightly.
Hang on.
Try-
Where is everybody?
I'm near or I guess I'm in the middle of the room still, like in the fencing position.
You're like over by the lectern.
The
with book
dog's
on it?
gone, but Duncan's just still sitting there. Just...
No. I'm like near wherever. I came up the stairs, dropped the stuff, and went to the fencing position. So I guess I'm next to the
Okay.
stairs.
So you're at the entrance to the room.
Yeah.
And are you over by the bed near the dog? Is that what the deal is?
I am in corner with dog, and I am patting dog. And I'm looking
Okay.
at him and my back sort of to everyone. I'm just making sure this dog is okay because I don't remember much about anything, and I feel the guilt
Yeah.
of my deity in my heart. I know I've done something wrong, but I
Yep.
just can't quite remember what. But at least I remember more than Lady Amsel.
Yeah. All right, Lady Amsel, as Lobelia opens the book, you notice that the book is in a foreign language.
Oh. Can I identify the foreign language?
You bend over to read the book, and the words start twisting and burning, and you feel them starting to like seep into your mind, and you feel your body begin to move against your will. Will you please roll plus intelligence to defy danger?
Oh no! I
What's
will.
happening to my body?
2d6 plus 2.
We see Lady Amsel just start twerking in the corner.
All right.
Oh.
Words be gone!
So,
I dislike this language.
Lady Amsel, you fight down this like itchy sensation in your brain, and as you fight it down, the words crystallize and clarify. And the first line reads, "Herein lies the tale of Valistraz, the Ice Queen."
Rad.
Valistraz?
Mm-hmm.
And are you telling us this? 'Cause JP, you should see if you know any lore about this Valitras person. Not yet, not until.
I don't
guess
think
you-
I can do
Is
that.
anything else coming to Lady Amsel with this?
Well, now you can read it fully.
Oh.
And actually, the chapter heading here was actually a cleverly laid arcane trap, but you managed to with your knowledge of the arcane and your incredible steel mind, you manage to resist its effects.
You're
on you.
making me blush, Steven.
And the words of that trap evaporate and rise off the page, and you smell this stinking sense of like burnt sage. And all of you actually smell this. The room sort of fills.
I like burnt sage.
Yeah. So yeah, you begin thumbing through this. Do you want to like take a second and read the book?
I would. We came here to hopefully
like,
find
puts
a way
the book
to
on his head
defeat the Ice Queen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as you're reading, what are the rest of you doing? Duncan, what are you up to?
I've put my rapier away. I'm over it with Fink standing next to him with this dog, and I'm just like, "What are you gonna name it, Fink?"
Nose.
Ah, a noble name for such a dog.
Nose like your nose, or like nose like no you know?
Like nose.
Like nose.
Like nose, because it's a pun. Because my God thinks it's really important to nose.
Yeah, it is really important to nose, or maybe even to have nose.
Was your first pet named Spot or Fluffy? You seem to be falling into a trap.
I like reach down to go to try to pet this.
Lady Ansel's talking about. So I stand up.
Yeah.
And turn and gesture to nose.
Okay.
To see if he'll be any amount obedient to me.
He tilts his head and his ears sort of flop to one side, and yeah, and like he opens his mouth and he drops his tongue out, and it's like this bright red slimy tongue, and his breath is sort of steaming a little bit, and his eyes are like glowing coals set in this incredible black face, and he just goes.
So Steven, as I'm like next to this, I start to realize the dog is actually like really long. He has a lot of space between his front and back legs, and it almost looks like a corgi, right? So I'm just looking at this dog, and I've never seen anything like this before. I've seen demon dogs like this, but never one in this shape. And I turn to Fink, and I'm just like, Fink, I don't think we should keep this. This is quite different from the ones I've heard in my stories.
Really, Duncan? Because this is a core hound.
I turned to it. I'm like, a core hound? How do you know that?
Hang on here.
Oh.
Fink, would you please spout lore?
Yes. You see.
By which I mean Fink. Roll
Yeah,
2d6 plus your intelligence.
And then you do have to spout the lore.
Yes.
My intelligence gives me +1.
Ooh.
So Sean starts talking. He's just like, oh,
Ding,
dub dub
XP.
doo.
Let me
Okay.
He tells you lies. You
Uh,
should just tell like a really big lie.
You also
Yeah,
get XP, Sean.
as you're sort of racking your brain, you're like, well, this is a core hound. And as you sort of rack your brain, Duncan, you start like walking towards the dog.
Yeah.
And holding out your hand to try and make friends with it, and it immediately gets up on all paws, and you realize that the length of the dog was actually an optical illusion based on how it was standing. It's actually this huge, stocky, massive, bulky, muscular dog, and it just like pulls back its lips from its teeth and it starts growling the shit at you. What do you do?
Fink's like, good dog, good dog.
Damn right I am. Doggy hunt a spider.
Oh yeah, XP.
You do get XP for that, Sean.
Oh no, I added the XP.
Okay.
I did it immediately, and I'm like, this is okay to roll bad.
So this thing's just like growling at me, and as I started walking towards it, I kind of stop dead in my tracks, and I'm like, Fink, command him to stop doing what he's doing.
So, is this where I get to spout lore?
No, unfortunately, you failed your spout lore roll, so you don't
like,
actually know anything about this.
I don't know any fudge. What I do is I look at him and I go,
Does anybody have any like dried meat with them that they could use to like entice this creature or anything like that?
Well, Steven,
have
as you're saying that, I pull
I
out
have a piece of pie.
my flute, Steven, as this
Okay.
thing's growling at me.
Yeah.
And I look
And
back
then?
at I look back at Fink and I kind of like shrug and like, well, I guess we're gonna try this. And I just let out a single note at the dog, and it sounds like this.